Alright, so today I'm just gonna kind of do like a Q&A type of stuff for the video. I don't really have much going on this week, but I dropped my truck off at a little shop down the street from my house. I was trying to fix a leak on it and I can't figure it out, so I don't really have time to do that. And yeah, so basically today what I'm going to be talking about is drifting in general. You know, basic setups. I get a lot of setup questions on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube comments and stuff, and you know, just people asking questions like what should they do for this or what should they do for that. So kind of answer some of those questions, and then also go to more in depth of what this channel is basically like dedicated for, or my whole reasoning behind all of this type of stuff, and then just YouTube in general. So first off, the drifting stuff. All you guys that have been asking about like what do you do for this and what do you do for that, I'll give you a generic blanket statement answer of drifting in general. So what you want to do is you want to find a car that either A, runs and drives, that's a manual rear-wheel drive car, or B, a car that you can put together with the knowledge, the mechanical knowledge, and you know, the finances to build a car. But what I would do honestly is I wouldn't even buy a shell and build a car unless you already are into doing that stuff. Sorry, my cat's getting in the way. I would buy like a cheap E46 or E36 BMW. They're, you know, they can be had for $500 to $3,000, maybe more. Or you can get like, you know, just a basic 240 if you feel like paying $3,000 or $4,000 for a KA1 if it still runs, or an SR1 4 to 5, depending on what your budget is. You can also, you know, get pretty much people starting Miatas, whatever, you know, it's basically what you want to drive type of thing. So searching Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, that's a good way to do that. And what the only basics you need for a drift car is a locked differential, like you can weld it, or I would stay away from limited slip differentials unless they're in the vehicle already, but it's not really worth all of that. It's kind of expensive for, you know, those limited slip differentials, you know, friction modifier fluid, all that kind of crazy stuff. So, and then also get yourself either a good set of coilovers, or at minimum lowering springs. Lowering springs are better than nothing. They'll also help you understand how weight transfer works and things like that. And then, you know, there's tons of videos on here. I watched the Drift Bible when I first started, Kaichi Tsuchiya, of all the different techniques on how to drift, what to do, stuff like that. So I first started in a 1987 Nissan 200SX. It's an S12 chassis before the 240. It's rear-wheel drive and 5-speed. I bought a CA18 DET and I put that in there with the help of my friend David. And I drifted that for a while until I actually blew up. The one I got one on my old channel of that video. But that thing, I freaking worked on that thing so much. Oh, it was like hybrid parts, this and that, doing this, custom this. It was like such a pain, and it never was reliable. It always broke. It always had leaky stuff. And I mean, mind you, the earliest version of the CA that they made was like 91 or 1990. So, you know, I blew it up, and then I got a junkyard 1.6 from Essentra and put it in there, and then blew the head gasket on that, did the head gasket, and then it just pissed me off because it just kept breaking and it started leaking again on the head gasket. I'm like, yeah, I just sold it. I got out of it. You know, I had coilovers on it and, you know, a bunch of 240 conversion and stuff, but the suspension was really difficult on that car. So make sure that you buy a vehicle with, you know, good starting point, a good cheap vehicle. Like the E36 46 BMWs are good, 240s are good, you know. I mean, if you want to, if you got the money, a BRZ is okay, but I wouldn't drift a $20,000 car for fun. unless that's what you're gonna do. I mean, they're okay, but a lot of those boxer engines, they have issues of spinning bearings and stuff with oiling issues. But hey, whatever you want to do, it's in your budget, it's your choice, do whatever you want. I'm just telling you what would be easier to do and cheaper in the long way. I like 240s because they're cheap and you can put anything in them, customizable. The BMWs are like that, they have more grip, and basically it's a point of cost effectiveness. Unless money is not an issue to you, then you shouldn't be watching this video. But yeah, with that, I'm gonna move into talking about this channel on YouTube. Like, basically, I started this YouTube channel to document all the stuff that I wanted to remember or watch over again, and critique my drifting with my GoPro footage and see like what I was doing, because I wanted to know, because you don't think about it when you're driving. So I wanted to do that. That's why I started this. And, kind of look at the wheel, look at what I'm doing with my hands and feet, and entry, and stuff like that, throttle input. And it helped me progress very, very quickly, which is good, because if you can drive a really crappy or mediocre setup okay, then you're going to drive a good setup really well, and then just keep progressing from there. I wouldn't recommend buying a car and just modding it without any driving experience, because you're just going to use all of those upgrades as crutches and not actually have a good base of driving developed to go off of. So, but this YouTube, I kind of just upload like random stuff on what I'm doing. It's not really a vlog channel per se, but it's more of just like whatever I have going on during the week. I do have a day job, so this isn't really something I've, added to be or wanted to be, a source of income mainly. And especially with the new algorithms and the new, cutting that YouTube did because of all the drama on there of low content creators. I just kind of put this up for my own personal, feedback and to remember some of the stuff. So, but yeah, if you guys have any questions, I'm not going to really be doing anything too much of this next week. Go ahead and drop them below. This quick little video kind of talking about where I was, started drifting, what I think you should do, and just what I'm doing with my YouTube. So stay tuned for a future video. I should be having some more content for you in the future. So thanks for sticking around.